Welcome back everyone, and today I am going to tell you how I have unlocked the full potential of Talonflame in the Ultra League. Talonflame, you might think that it doesn't have a place in Ultra League with the presence of dragon types such as Dragonite, Zygarde, and water types such as Feraligatr and Tentacruel, but here I am going to tell you about this team led by Talonflame that got me 200 ELO in a matter of 6 sets within a span of more than a day. And when you see Talonflame, you might be thinking, yeah, it has potential, but guess what, this is the best time for you to use it because everyone keeps using fairy types and steel types in the lead in the Ultra League. And as the crazy part about all of this is that some people are even using a team with double weakness to Talonflame, such as this team where it has Galarian Weezing in the lead. It has no chance against a Talonflame, and they have an Annihilate as their safe swap, which is a big mistake because Talonflame can still beat Annihilate. As you can see here, we are going to let the first Rage Phase go because it is the weakest one of all, and we're going to go straight for flies, right? We are going to fly them out of here if possible, and they have to shield it, right? Because their lead was so bad to begin with that they have to preserve this Annihilate for this matchup to even have a chance. And we just come in with Cresselia, even though it is going to be weak to the Rage Phase, but it is extremely bulky and it will be able to tank at least one boosted Rage Phase here against this Annihilate, and we are in a very strong position right now to take this win. So especially when you look at this season's buffs such as Mud Slap or even other things that might not necessarily and the debuff of counter, you would see that there will be a lot of Pokemon here that will be very beneficial to go against the Talonflame. And even things such as even when if you see Gastrodon, for example, you would be thinking it's a ground water type, but it still has a very bad matchup against this Talonflame because Talonflame will still resist the Mud Slaps, and Body Slam does very little because Gastrodon is more of a tank rather than the damage dealer. And sometimes they will run Water Pulse for that super effective damage against Talonflame. However, most of the time they will run Earth Power, which will also be resisted by the Talonflame in this instance. And yeah, as you can see here, Talonflame is just cleaning up their team, and they will bring in their Shadow Feraligatr with us having a shield up. It's just a matter of time before we take them out. The Leaf Blade against a Shadow Feraligatr will chunk a lot, as you can see here, takes up about 80% of their health, and we are not going to mess around with the Shadow Feraligatr because their Ice Beam against the Feraligatr will hurt so much, as you will be able to see here. It will take out about 60% of our health. We are almost taken out by this Feraligatr, but we do get to the Leaf Blade to take them out. So what is some of the benefits that you can find with running Talonflame right now in the Ultra League? Well, one of the things that is going for Talonflame right now is that it has 3 possible movesets, right? Of course, for the fast move, you want to run Incinerate, but then again, for the charge move, you have an option to run between 3 charge moves, right? You can run Fly, you can run Brave Bird, or you can even run Flame Charge, as what we are doing right now. So all those 3 can run in combinations with each other. So some people will run double flying charge moves with Fly and Brave Bird for the nuke and the bait, but some of us like me would run Flame Charge just to ramp up the Incinerate and Fly damage that it does to the opponent. And another thing with this team that we have with Virizion and Cresselia in the back is that we have a double answer to the water types. So Cresselia being the more softer answer to the water types, and we have the Virizion to really hard counter punish those water types, especially those that do not have any subtypings that do super effective damage against Virizion, such as the poison type that Tentacruel does. But here this opponent had Leaky Tongue as their safe swap against our Talonflame, which would generally be very bad. Unfortunately, this Virizion is a tank, will be able to soak up all of that rollouts and can tank 2 Shadow Balls to boot, and we are able to win that safe swap matchup easily without using any shields, and they know that, and they also do not want to waste their own shields, which means that in the end game, their Emperors versus our Cresselia is when the shields will fall down. But we will not be the first to use it because our Cresselia is a tank, and they do not even try to buff their attack with Trailblaze here. They decided to just run through us with the brutal swings, which is fine by us because that means that we are able to slowly but surely chunk them down and take this game. Of course, they are able to try to snipe us with the Meteor Mash, but it doesn't do as much damage because it doesn't have stab, because it doesn't have the additional damage from stab. But we are going to be able to get an additional Incinerate off versus this Clefable to go for a double flame charge against this Ampharos to seal the deal. I believe they did have 1 turn or maybe 2 turns of lag, but I don't think it matters in this instance because we have 3 charge moves banked, with the Talonflame having 2 and the Cresselia having a Grass Knot in the back to take this win. But when you look at Talonflame and Steam in general, you might be thinking, where's the weaknesses in this? I mean, all the teams have weaknesses, right? And here is the main weakness for this team, because it's ABA weak to Tentacruel, with the water typing being able to beat Talonflame, and the poison typing and the poison jab and acid spray damage being able to take down our Virizion. So in this instance, we will be staying in. We will try to deal as much damage as possible. Of course, we will shield the first Scald against them because they would not, because we want to deal as much damage against this Tentacruel as possible, right? Because Cresselia with Grass Knot and Moonblast will not do as much damage as we need it to, especially if it stays longer in the game. It will be chunked quite a bit by this Tentacruel, and Cresselia being a tank will not be able to deal as much damage as we need it and as much as it requires to take down this Tentacruel. Even though both are bulky, but Tentacruel does have a bit more attack stat to seal the deal, a bit more fast move damage as well with the poison jab. And here they decided to let their Tentacruel go, which I find peculiar, but then again they have a Rhyperior in the back. In the ideal world, that would have made light work of the Talonflame. Unfortunately for them, because Mudslap got buffed, they are using Mudslap, which is resisted by the Talonflame. The same reason why Gastrodon has a bad matchup against the Talonflame. It will not be able to do that much of a fast move pressure on us. So we decided to go in with a Cresselia, have that double super effective Grass Knot versus the Rhyperior, and they decided to counter swap their Shadow Galarian Wheezing against us. And as you can see here, that is not going very well for them because that Psycho Cut damage is chunking this Galarian Wheezing away, and they have to throw their charge move to take us out, or else their Wheezing would have been too low to do any damage whatsoever against us. But here they decided to swap back to their Rhyperior to soak up that flame charge damage, but it's okay, it's fine. We have a Virizion in the back with a double super effective Leaf Blade against this Rhyperior. Breaking Swipe, the debuff, no problem. they have a shield, it's also something we don't care about, because we have Virizion that takes not super effective, not very effective damage, sorry, against the Rhyperia. And we are just going to let this guy go down. We are going to flex that single shield of theirs against them, because here we see they are going to try to snipe us with their wheezing, and it doesn't work. They still need to, I think, 2 more mud slaps, and they will not be able to get there, and we do win that game. So let me know what you think about this team. Let me know if you have tried this team before and whether or not it has worked for you. It has worked for me so far, and hopefully you are able to climb as fast as possible in this last few days of the season. So that is all from me. Do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really means a lot to get these videos of mine to a broader audience. And that is all from me, and I'll see you in the next one.